Hello to anyone that's still out there. I know my numbers of views are dwindling somewhat, and I think that's probably because I'm not doing such regular videos and I'm probably not covering the things that you want to see. And also my comments have been removed because I can't type to answer them, and if I don't answer them I feel like a total rotter, to be fair. But I'm going to make an exception for this one, and you will find out why in a moment, hopefully. This is a totally unscripted chatty catch-up, so let's see where it goes. As you can see before you, I am showing you on the left one of my most recent pieces, which was done for the Solstice Saviour Hunt Saboteur midwinter card, and on the right you will see something you haven't seen for a while, which is one of the Wild Spirit Tarot revamps. Yes, I got to thinking very much when I was doing the last card reading of my Everyday Enchantment deck about doing things for, I think it may be the last couple of readings it's come up, that doing things for yourself but also for the wider, the greater, and not just pleasing yourself but thinking about what it would give to the world or to others. I think the world might be a little bit over ambitious, but hopefully it will give to some people, even if it's one person, which was always my philosophy. If I'm just doing work that doesn't really resonate with anybody, it's not what people want to see, and it's not attractive enough. I think I've covered this in some videos when I was talking about my work. I don't think my work is very popular because it's often not beautiful enough, and the Wild Spirit deck can be very beautiful in the way that the Everyday Enchantment one couldn't be so much, because it was very constrained by it being in our reality, whereas this one is a bit more of a flight of fancy, a whimsical magical deck. So I went and I dug out I'm going to get confused with my decks here. I dug out my Wild Spirit revamp art and wondered why I'd kind of trailed off on it, and I think it's because it got quite painful and hard to do, because it involved well, at the time it was very physically hard. I mean, this work is physically hard for me. Sometimes it takes a long time, and I think I just kind of ran aground with it and felt like doing something else and didn't know really whether it was worth all the pain that it was causing me to do. And so I thought, let's have a look, because I know that you liked this, or I know people liked this, that you were enjoying it, that you wanted more of it, that it was something that you would have liked to have seen completed. So I thought, well, if I'm going to take my own advice and the cards counsel that has been coming up, then it will be it will be a good thing for me to focus not only on what I do, which is art, and it was writing, but writing is becoming increasingly difficult, hence the lack of comments and everything. Yes, so what is my work if it is not for others, if it is not giving people what they would like to see? There's got to be that balance. I've just been looking at the Justice card from the... There you are. Oh, how nice of you to be local. I've just been looking at my Everyday Enchantment Justice card, and there has to be that balance between what satisfies me as a creative being, what I feel is authentic to me, what is expressing the art of myself, and what gives something to others, because of that total interconnectedness I feel with all beings, be they human or non-human. And if I'm just doing this in isolation for myself, or if I'm just working on pieces, for instance this one, which was the last piece I did, if I'm just doing this and it's kind of becoming self-indulgent and it's not really what people want to see, then I think I need feedback on this, and so I'm going to leave the comments open on this video. I'd be really grateful if you felt moved to leave a comment that you wouldn't engage in anything other than what I'm talking about here, because it's going to be hard enough to deal with right typing. And I'm not going to be able to put really big lengthy responses either. I might in some cases just put one of those little heart things that they give you to show that you've liked and appreciated a comment. I am so sorry. I would love to be able to enter into dialogues with you all. I wish there was some version of this that didn't involve me typing in any shape or form or sitting in a chair. I don't sit in a chair at all, ever. So that means, you know, no cafes, no trains, no buses, no chairs in the house, no nothing. If I ever visit anybody, I sit on the floor. If somebody visits me, I sit on the floor. If I've in the past, when I've gone to see performances, I've sat on the floor. Yeah, I don't know whether any of you have heard of John Shuttleworth. He's a British genius, quirky comedian, and I had to sit on the floor. Unfortunately, I was quite close to the front, and he said, "There's a little hippie lass sitting down there on the floor." He didn't say it like that because that's a really rubbish Lancashire type act, or not even, no, I don't even know what that was, but he said in his accent that there was a little hippie lass sitting on the floor, which I'm not. It was very embarrassing indeed, because I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. Anyway, the point of all this self-indulgent waffle is that sitting in a chair to use the computer, which I have to do, I have tried all sorts of variations on the theme. Even if I sat on the floor to use a laptop or wherever, I'm still kind of leaning over it to type, and it hurts. So, yes, now you know all the stupid intimate details of why that is so difficult. I refuse to give up, however, but it is making things very difficult for me to communicate. Because if I do the work, and the work can take months, I mean, you know, that something like this was not started, you know, a week before I was going to finish it. It was you know, it started a long time before. I have to do little bits, otherwise I pay for it big time in hurty. So yes, what was I going? I hope this isn't just becoming, you know, totally me orientated. I feel I have to explain why the comments have gone or have been absent, and why I haven't been really concentrating on a series of work, and why there's been lots of gaps. But I think I need to know from any of you, even if there's 3 of you, 2 of you, 1 of you, I need to know, is this worth proceeding with? Would you like to see it finished? Because it's going to be a huge investment for me to do. I mean a physical investment of time and everything else. Is it worth it? Now, when I've come to look at these pieces again, which I can't remember when I was working on them, was it last year, was it the year before? Things have gone a bit squiffy in the last 2 years, haven't they? Yes, well, they certainly have in my department, shall we say. Yes, it's been a very weird 2 years, and time has become a little bit skewed, and it's difficult to remember what was what, because there's been so many weird and unsettling things happening, and places for our attention to be focused on that aren't necessarily very positive or creative or inspiring. So yeah, I don't actually know when I did the last one of these, but comparing what I'm doing now with what I was doing then, I can see that these are even the ones that I've already revamped. Let's look at them. That is the sun. I know I can't show you the whole thing, I'm sorry. Hope you're getting enough of it. That is the sun. This is the Dance of Life, Web of Fate. This one particularly needs help, I feel. This is the moon, or Mother Two Moons. No longer sure exactly what these cards are going to be called in the final outcome. And then we have the Hermit, or the Healer. She's not too bad actually. And this is very nice, I think. This is the Wild Harvest card, which would be the World. And then this was Transformation, which would be Judgment, and also a lovely card. What struck me when I've come back to them is, yes, they're not up to how I could do them now, because if I'm not improving all the time, then I really should give up. Even if I'm not doing very much work, I should still be improving. But it's not just that struck me, it is that these things are rather lovely and would probably make nice images just on their own, even if they weren't cards. Not all of them, but I'm trying. This is the Wise Woman, Dreamweaver. Yeah, so some of them are, where's Death? Wherefore art thou, Death? Rebirth. Yes, he's not good. His face has gone really badly wrong because I have worked too heavily into him and the paper's gone all crunkly, so he would definitely need redoing. There are bits of that are fine. But I think in order to maintain my meticulously high standards of pushing myself, I probably have to rework them again. And then also, I think working on them continually without breaks keeps the standard even, because if I started again now on a fresh card, there would be kind of a difference between the level I've got to now and how it was a year ago. So I did that little upwards inflection then a year ago. I don't like that. What's it called? Upspeak? Scrap that bit. Anyway, yes, what am I going to show you now? So these were how the cards were going to look. I can show you this a bit better because they're smaller than the original. Obviously the ones I've just been showing you, which I can't show you the whole thing of because of the nature of where I have to film these videos. They're all A4. These are reduced size ones with how I thought the titles would work on them. And when I've looked at those, I've realised that not only on some of them I haven't left enough space, so when they were cropped, if they went to publication and they got cropped because I've done a card that goes right up to the edge, that's literally the card that I'd want you to see when you opened it. Please focus. Oh, that's made it worse. Come on. Thank you. Yes, that's the card that I'd want you to see as you opened your deck. But I haven't, on some of them, on some of the ones that I was trying to work on, I haven't left enough space. So there would be a crop around and that title would be, say, Wild Dreamer down there. That would be way too close to the edge. This one isn't too bad actually. I think Wild Harvest, i.e. this one here, Reaper Wild Harvest, I think that those scrolls, that scroll might be a little bit close. I'm not sure. What I need, and there's the sun with the scrolls put in but not written on. Let's come back. I'm not sure what you still feel about the scrolls being there. Now, the whole point of this was that I could incorporate the title into the design without losing any of the design. So there was no borders, there was no extraneous bit at the bottom that said, for instance, how this one ended up, with the borders and the title at the bottom. And I'd like it to just be on the whole card because I know that a lot of you much prefer that, and I'm doing this, as I have stressed, not for myself but for you, because you are the people that have to work with them if it ever came to that, and I have to think and project forward that it would. Otherwise it would be very sad that I couldn't share this and have people enjoy it physically in their mitt rather than on a screen. So yes, I would like to know all of your thoughts on whether this should be continued with, whether I should keep those scrolls as they are here. If you go back and look through my videos, Wild Spirit Revamps, you'll see much more what I'm talking about. This is just kind of a recap of me getting them back out and thinking, And also, I need to tell you that I don't know what was going on with me at the time, and it could have just been a complete pain meltdown, but I have not saved some of these properly. And I can't find them anywhere, and I don't know what I was thinking, or whether I was just trying, making mistakes because I wanted to get off the blooming computer as quickly as possible. But some of them haven't even been saved, so I've lost the work that I did on some of them. So it's going to be a case really of starting again. Is it worth it? It's a big commitment, and well, yes, the comments will be open. Please feel free to say something about what you feel about these cards and whether it's something you want me to do, because I'm really aware that, it's fine. I love painting, I love illustrating, but it's got to be something that's giving something. I'm really getting the impression that a lot of things that I do are just not striking a chord. My dear friend Sue, who passed away last year, there's a video about that which has got a lot more views than most of my art videos, which is a great tribute to her, and I'm pleased about that. But she always gave me feedback and encouragement, and without her I'm rather, although I have my strong here we go back to the High Priestess card I was just talking about in the last video. I have my strong inner connection with my deep eternal self, and with the source, and know what what I'm here to do. But I want to do something that isn't just for me. I think I've made that quite clear, haven't I? I do tend to over egg the pudding, which is a vegan pudding, so it wouldn't have any egg in it, but you get the gist. I do tend to go on a bit, which is why it's always taken me an aeon to edit down my enormous books, because I tend to say everything 5 times in different ways. I'm sure you've noticed that in my videos. I'm noticing I'm on 17 minutes. So I think you get the gist. What are your thoughts? I wish I could keep what are your thoughts on me keeping the comments open on future videos, but you not being offended if I don't respond by typing? You'll know I read the comments. You'll know that. I promise with all my heart that I would not disrespect you giving me the time and the courtesy to leave me a comment and I wouldn't read it. I always would read it, but I'm not going to be able to respond. So if you think comments should come back and you're happy to interact with each other in the comments, if there's any of you there, I'm not making a presumption on that, but do you think comments should be returned and I'm just not expected to respond to them? Is that okay? Doing this for you, so I need to know. Right, before I go, also before I finish on this, I'm not sure about life at the moment. I'm not sure what's going to be happening in my life, if anything at all is going to be happening. It could go either way, nothing or a big upheaval, who knows. I will let you know. If there is, then this is not going to be continued for a while. I would like to make a start on it though, but it's that continuity thing. If I make a start and then have to break off, then I'm probably going to come back to it and go, that's not good enough, I've got better than that now. Or hopefully a little bit of improvement anyway. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on that as well, whether there's going to be life things, upheavals. I'm kind of conflicted on that. It's sort of fear-inducing thinking of upheavals of any kind, really, but also knowing that they probably have to happen. So I'll let you know, and I'll probably be a little bit less cryptic about them, because at the moment there's nothing to say, really. Why am I focusing on this wonderful woman walking along a highway with Peace Pilgrim? I just wanted to draw your attention to this book, which kind of plopped out of my heavily overburdened bookshelf the other day. I've read it so many times, and I wondered if you had, because it is truly an extraordinary story of the most amazing woman. I mentioned Peace Pilgrim in my wild spirituality book as somebody that has inspired me greatly, and every time I read this book, all of her wisdom and her experiences, I always feel like I should be doing something more, you know, like she is. I always feel like I should be walking the roads of Britain for awareness of animal experimentation or something of that ilk. I feel like I should be sitting outside Porton Down permanently. I feel like I should be doing something, but I don't think that's what I'm called to do. I think I'm called to do this. It's just that the things that I do, for instance, my hymn and the fox, don't seem to reach that many people. The things that I do with a message to try and draw people's attention to things don't seem to reach that many people. But you know, if I'm sure that she wasn't doing what she was doing with the thought of how many people she was going to reach. She did it because she had to. So sometimes you just have to do something. So this is a very old book. You can actually see Peace Pilgrim on YouTube. There are small films of her, so you can actually see her to get a taste of whether you'd like to read some of the work. This is, she didn't write this book, it's a collection of her writing because she was too busy walking the 25,000 miles on foot for peace, plus because she didn't stop at 25,000 miles. She was completely and utterly fueled by spirit, by the source. She was completely plugged in. Her connection was so profoundly, she just embodied, if I can come back, she embodied this connection to this level of deep connection and this level of practical application in the world. So she was the most extraordinary being, really. So inspiring. So yes, thought I'd mention her. I'm going to get cut off in a minute. I was going to do a book review of these two books, which are just like dystopia personified. This is The Circle by Dave Eggers, and this is the sequel by Dave Eggers. Take no notice of the film if you've seen the Circle film. These books are much better, but I'm running out of time. I'm going to go to cut off, and I'd much rather say goodbye to you. That's for another time, and I don't really feel like talking about dystopian works at the moment. I'd rather focus on beauty, truth, connection, the all that is. Yeah, so I will wish you a fond farewell for now. I'm trying to come back as often as I can. Hope I haven't gone twiddly-woo too much in this video, and I'm looking forward to receiving any comment at all. So, lots of love, look after yourselves and all our relations, and stay free. Big hugs. Bye for now. Creaky glove noises. Bye. I'm waving. Bye.